Hey, what's going on YouTube? So in this video we are going to talk about Babylon possibly being America. I know there's a lot of people who say, oh no, it's not America, it's not America, it could never be America. And I used to think that, and I'll be honest, I was ignorant. I used to think, okay, it's probably not America, but it could be. I was basically on the fence over it. And then I read in the Bible about Babylon. And I can't get away from it being America. It has to be America. If it's not America, then it's the Vatican. Those are your two options. So, with that being said, we are going to read from Revelation chapter 17, basically to, I think, chapter 19, but definitely not chapter 19, but we are going to read basically as far as I can, and then, we'll stop and go back and forth. This might be a two-part video, so just kind of keep that in mind. Chapter 17, it reads, subtitle rather is, Babylon, the prostitute on the beast. Okay, so Babylon is somebody, not a single person, but it's something rather that is on the beast. So it comes up from the beast, maybe it's inspired from the beast, it rides the beast, whatever. I mean, when you look at America today with all the satanic rituals that are going on live TV, with all of the sex and drugs and murder and violence that's going on in America, how could it not be riding up on the beast that will become the Antichrist? It says, one of the seven angels who had the seven bowls came and said to me, come, I will show you the punishment of the great prostitute who sits by many waters. With her the kings of the earth committed adultery, and the inhabitants of the earth were intoxicated with the wine of her adulteries. Then the angel carried me away in the spirit into a wilderness. There I saw a woman sitting on a scarlet beast, that's red, that was covered with blasphemous names and had 7 heads and 10 horns. Okay, so that's, basically the first beast of Revelation, I believe. Possibly the second beast, but one of the two. The woman was dressed in purple and scarlet, sort of like the Pope and the Vatican and so on and so forth, and was glittering with gold, precious stones, and pearls. She held a golden cup in her hand, filled with abominable things and the filth of her adulteries. The name written on her forehead was a mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and of the abominations of the earth. Now, let's say this is the Vatican, okay? We could almost agree that, and I'm painting with a very, very broad brush here, a mile-wide brush. Most Catholics are people who say, oh, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, I believe in forgiveness and grace and this, that, and the other thing. And they will go out and have sex with everybody, drink, get drunk, smoke pot, do all of these things, and basically go crazy, and then come Sunday, oh, Father, forgive me for this, that, and the other thing. And, most Christians do it as well, but you typically find this in the Catholic area. And with the Pope and the Vatican, basically just the Vatican as a whole coming out and saying, oh yeah, being gay is okay. Oh yeah, aliens might be real. Oh yeah, this, that, and the other thing. Oh, don't talk bad about Islam. oh yeah, all roads lead to the same place. It's like, what are you talking about? Is the Vatican Babylon? Possibly. But if you say the Vatican is Babylon, then where is America? Where's America? It never really talks about us specifically. Does that mean, maybe most Christians are in America, so most of us get raptured out, so there really isn't a country of America? What's going on here? Or do we just sit on the sidelines? Interesting thought. So he goes on to say, when I saw her, I was greatly astonished. Then the angel said to me, why are you astonished? I will explain to you the mystery of the woman and of the beast she rides, which has the 7 heads and 10 horns. The beast which you saw once was, now is not, and yet will come up out of the abyss and go to its destruction. Okay, so this is the one that I think we could say comes up out of the earth. Might be the one that comes up out of the water, which would mean the abyss is water. So, I don't know. But he comes from hell. Okay, that there's no doubt about that. He comes from hell. And this is a person who lived at one time, but he's dead now. But he will rise up again. So this is going to be somebody that some people are going to know. It is somebody who was killed by the sword, or will be killed by the sword, and rise up. Long story short, it is somebody with a head wound. So we need to, basically, every person that we know who has had a fatal headshot, a fatal head wound in power, people in power, we need to look at them, put them up on, a board, and then go through the criteria. And, as far as I know, the Bible never says you cannot know who the Antichrist is. As far as I know. I know it says that he will be revealed as the Antichrist, but it doesn't say that you can't know at least, maybe this guy is the Antichrist. And it's sort of a double thing, and maybe I'm not saying this right. I'll explain it this way. No one knows the hour or the day that Jesus will return. It's like, okay, but I can guess it. You see what I'm saying here? I may not know for sure when it's going to be, but that doesn't mean I can't guess it. If everyone in the world today were to say a different time in the future, because we don't have to worry about the past, but in the future, at some point, someone is going to guess the right hour or day, or both, at some point. So, knowing and guessing are two different things. But as far as the Antichrist goes, I don't think it really ever says that you can't know. So that's something to think about. It goes on to say, where was I? The inhabitants of the earth, whose names have not been written in the book of life from the creation of the world, will be astonished when they see the beast, because it once was, now is not, and yet will come. Okay, I should have read farther. Why are we astonished? We know this person. It is somebody we know. Why? It's like, if JFK were to come up and say, I am God, or whatever, it's like people are going to go, oh my gosh, he once was, now is not, but he has come, and he suffered a fatal head wound. I mean, what is going on here? I mean, is JFK someone we don't, if JFK were to come back, and I'm not saying he's the Antichrist, but if he were to come back, he would have charisma beyond beyond imagination, rather. That's my opinion, and I didn't even grow up in that era. I didn't grow up during the Vietnam War or anything like that. I'm a 90s kid. So, very, very odd. That's all I'm going to say. It's very, very odd that people are, oh, you can't know the Antichrist. You can't know the Antichrist. Is that true? Is that true that we can't know him? I mean, I don't know, but it says right here, we will be astonished when we see the beast because it once was. Okay, wait, I see you. You were dead, but you're not. And you're coming again. So, you once were alive, you're not now, but you're going to be alive again. A little confusing. Oh, here we go. Once again, should have read farther. This calls for a mind with wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 hills on which the woman sits, basically the Vatican. They are also 7 kings. 5 have fallen. Okay, so 5 kings have fallen. One is still alive, supposedly. The other has not yet come, but when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. He belongs to the 7 and is going to his destruction. So these 7 guys basically have things in common. That's what I get from this. They have things in common, and 5 of them are dead, which means the 6th is alive, but the 7th has not come yet. But when he does come, he must remain for only a little while. The beast who once was and now is not is an 8th king. That means it's one of the dead 5. That's what I get from this. So there is an Antichrist at some point when this is being written, or at least when he's looking at it. And 1 has not come yet. 5 have died. And one of the 5 comes back to life as the 8th. Sort of creepy. The 10 horns you saw are 10 kings who have not yet received a kingdom. But who for 1 hour will receive authority as kings along with the beast? They have one purpose and will give their power and authority to the beast. They will wage war against the Lamb. But the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of lords and kings of kings. And with him will be his called, chosen, and faithful followers. Okay, wait, what? That escalated very, very quickly. It looks like everyone's already raptured by this point. Or at least every Christian is wiped from the face of the earth. We're gone. Everyone's dead. Either rapture, or maybe there's multiple miniature raptures, or rapture and people get killed quite a bit, or no rapture and people are slaughtered throughout the years because of being a Christian. So I'm going to leave it there, and we're going to pick up where I left off, which is going to be a little bit before chapter 18. So I will talk to you guys in the next video.